NXT Stand and Deliver is this Saturday. Match card and predictions for you here on the channel today. We're going to kick things off and not waste any time talking about the main event of this show, Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes. Of course, these two were best friends, the Trick Melo game dominating NXT. Of course, Trick was a sidekick for Melo for many years, and of course then, well, Trick said he wanted to do it on his own. He became the North American champion, of course, during that run, while Carmelo was the NXT champion, but of course eventually both would lose both of their championships. And while Trick's stock rose, if you will, the fans were getting more and more on Trick Williams' side, Carmelo Hayes, they were sensing a bit of jealousy there. Eventually, Williams got himself into a #1 contenders fatal 4-way, which also featured Carmelo Hayes, but was attacked backstage. There was a mystery going on for months who was the attacker, and Carmelo was someone who was accused, always denying it at every turn and corner. Of course, though, eventually Williams became the Iron Survivor, of course, at Deadline, getting himself an NXT Championship match against Ilja Dragunov, the person who beat Carmelo Hayes for that championship. Of course, Trick Williams didn't get the job done, and that's when Carmelo Hayes made sure that the friendship was done. And of course, Carmelo actually turned heel then in the process, and it's led to these two going head to head the main event of Stand and Deliver. So who is going to walk away with the W? In my personal opinion, I think it's going to be Trick Williams. I think we need the good feel-good story here for WrestleMania weekend. Trick Williams proving that he was right to take the gamble, to not hold his career back. The fact that, you know, jealousy doesn't get you anywhere either. And if we're being brutally honest, looking outside the storyline terms here, realistically, Trick Williams then can go for the NXT Championship without any interference, interruptions, and Carmelo Hayes is more than ready to appear on a Raw or SmackDown weekly. I would not be surprised to see him appear on the Raw after Mania, which I think will be a lot better now that Triple H is in charge this year. For the NXT Women's Championship, we've got Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. Of course, the championship that Roxanne had never lost, though she's not really complained too much about it as a babyface. It's only in recent times that she's been targeting Lyra Valkyria. Nothing during the Tiffy time, nothing during Becky Lynch's reign. It's all happened here and now with Lyra Valkyria. And of course, they had a match at Vengeance Day earlier this year, but Lola Vice cashed in her breakout tournament contract during the match, making it a triple threat, and Lyra did retain the championship by beating Lola Vice. Of course, this has led to Roxanne turning heel in the process with a brutal arm injury on NXT, which I thoroughly enjoyed at the time. I really enjoyed the character development of Roxanne Perez in recent weeks as well. But Lyra, being Lyra, has managed to make the comeback and has said that she is going to do whatever it takes to remain NXT Women's Champion. Of course, her friendship with Tatum Paxley has been interesting during this journey as well, because Tatum has sort of stayed out of the way recently of Lyra's business. She was getting involved in every match at the turn of the year, has now learned to stay in the back due to Lyra's request. But maybe with this information, this could lead to Tatum Paxley thinking, well, maybe I should get involved at Stand and Deliver. And do you know what? I think it could cost Lyra. I think Roxanne is going to win the championship that she never lost. In fact, she's never lost a championship in NXT, including the women's tag team titles either. But I think she will be NXT Women's Champion. I think this rivalry could go on to another day. Both women are ready for the main roster, but I don't think either will be imminently called up after WrestleMania. I think it could be waiting until the draft, and of course, the draft has taken champions before, it's taken challengers as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if one or both of these ladies are on Raw or SmackDown in the coming weeks and months. For the NXT Tag Team Championships, we've got the Wolf Dogs, Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin going against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. I would have bet a lot of money that the Good Brothers would have been the duo going for Bron and Baron on this show, but it wasn't to be. And do you know what? I'm kind of happy it isn't, because Axiom and Nathan Frazier are what NXT is all about. The fresh faces, the stars of the future, beating the Good Brothers and the LWO in a triple threat tag team match this past week to get the opportunity. And if we look at it, I think they're going to win the championships. They have faced these two teams before. It was an absolute blind of a match as well. I think it's going to be the same again here at Stand and Deliver, but I think with a different result. Bron and Baron won the last time in the tournament to get themselves to get to these tag team championships the last time. I think they'll be losing this time. Bron Breakker is signed to SmackDown. He has been more in NXT since that signing's taken place. I think it's been done to just let WrestleMania go out of the way, and I think once WrestleMania passes, Bron Breakker will be a full-time member of the SmackDown roster. I think Baron Corbin will take the pinfall. We could see a breakup of this team as well, because both of these guys are supposed to be a-holes, so it wouldn't surprise me the minute they lost one turns on the other. However, if I had my way, I'd have Corbin join Bron on the main roster. I'd continue the tag team run up there because they've been a lot of fun in NXT, and I wouldn't mind it seeing continue. But Axiom and Nathan Frazier will be my prediction to be new NXT Tag Team Champions. Next, we got a 6-1 tag team match. Kelani, Jordan, Thea, and Fallon Henley going against Izzy, Kiana, James, and Jacy, Jayne. This has kind of come together with two rivalries blending together, if you will. Of course, Jacy, Jayne, and Thea were friends, if you want, for the majority of this past year in Chase U. Jacy, Jayne has used Thea throughout to get herself back in the spotlight because she is, after all, the attraction of NXT. Of course, Kiana, James, and Izzy have been bullying Kelani, Jordan on recent weeks of NXT as well, and we're seeing Fallon Henley pretty much be the backup for both girls, which has kind of led to all of this merging together, if you will, and becoming this 6-woman tag team match. I think it's going to be a lot of fun watching this one, and for me, as a prediction, I'm going to go for Henley, Hale, and Jordan to pick up the victory. I think these three ladies, for me, make the most sense in picking up the win. If Roxanne Perez wins the NXT Women's Championship as well, then you're going to need some baby faces that are going to be, in and around the picture to want to get a championship opportunity for when it comes around to NXT Battleground. Next, we have Shawn Spears versus Joe Gacy. Now, these two were the losers in the North American Championship qualifying matches to get a championship opportunity here at Stand and Deliver. And of course, during Spears' match, Gacy kind of appeared out of nowhere from under the ring, which is a bit of a strange one, but Gacy's a bit of a strange dude, let's be fair. And also moved a chair that was perfectly placed as well, which ultimately could have cost Shawn Spears the match. And of course, this has led to some friction between these two, and I think it should be a fun match here at Stand and Deliver. Of course, Gacy, like I say, being a bit of a wild one, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. For me, I think on this occasion, I think it's going to go against him. I think Shawn Spears is going to pick up the victory. I wouldn't be surprised if a ref bump, a steel chair, and Spears, of course, being the chairman after all, picking up the 1, 2, 3. Well, if those two lost the qualifying matches, the two men that won the qualifying matches to get a North American Championship opportunity were Josh Briggs and Dijak. And of course, the champion Femi will be taking part in a triple threat match. This one is going to be a lot of fun. Femi has been impressing me since the minute he debuted. He's been a dominant North American champion. And if I'm being honest, I think he's ready for the next level. I think he's ready to become NXT champion, or at least be in the main event scene of NXT. So for me, looking at this is a triple threat match. This is a way you can get that championship off Femi without him having to take a pinfall. And I think Dijak and Briggs can continue a feud going into Battleground. And for me, looking at things how they play right now, Briggs has been the one that wants to have the breakout moment. He's broke away from Brooks Jensen and Fallon Henley to do his own thing. But Dijak has been popular with the fan base. He's had great match after great match after great match. His contract is up later this year. I think WWE and NXT would be foolish not to re-sign him. I think even he could fit on Raw, SmackDown, how he's doing right now. Great stuff each and every week. However, I think he's going to get his moment here at Stand and Deliver. I think Dijak wins the North American Championship by pinning Josh Briggs. Which leads me then to the NXT Championship match. The champion Ilja Dragunov going against Tony D'Angelo. I've mentioned the likes of Trick Williams and Femi could be waiting in the wings as a #1 contender at the end of this one. And to be honest, with this particular feud, I've been a bit lukewarm on it. It's not really worked for me. I've not believed in Tony D'Angelo. He's been a tag team wrestler for like the last 12 months, and all of a sudden he just switches, goes into the singles division and gets a championship opportunity. Yes, granted, he did beat Carmelo Hayes to do so. He did have a bit of tomfoolery to get there as well, hitting Trick Williams' music as well. So the Don has got some tricks up his sleeve. He's actually grown his group as well. So, to be fair, the family is stronger than it has been ever. This would be a good time to see how Tony D'Angelo would be as NXT champion. However, I just don't think the story is there. WrestleMania this year is all about the story, and Stand and Deliver falls into that weekend as well. I think Ilja Dragunov is going to retain. He is the unbreakable one. Tony D wants to break him. I just don't see it happening. Of course, breakout moments have happened for Tony D'Angelo on this show in the past, beating Tommaso Ciampa a couple of years ago, but I don't think he's winning the championship here. Ilja Dragunov, for me, will retain. I think a match with Trick Williams is quite likely after this, but I do kind of feel that if Trick Williams doesn't win the NXT championship, Femi could be the next one as well. It's Williams or Femi. Who will be the next NXT champion? Time will tell, but for this show, Dragunov retains. So that's my predictions there for NXT Stand and Deliver. Let me know your predictions in the comments below right now. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, share with a friend, and subscribe as well. Keep an eye on this channel. Plenty of videos dropping this week, in fact, day and night. So you want to make sure that you've hit that notifications bell to not miss an upload. Enjoy Stand and Deliver. Check out my WrestleMania predictions as well. Thank you for watching. Look after yourselves. I'll see you for the next video.